Hi, Jim Paterson. I'm a principal of Discovery Group. We have an event that we're holding today in the Exchange Hotel in Vancouver, Canada, called Discovery Days Critical Metals Event. We've got some wonderful speakers, panelists, including Claudia Tornquist, CEO of Kodiak Copper.
Kodiak is listed on the TSX Venture Exchange under KDK and on the OTCQB and KDK-CF and also on the Frankfurt Exchange.
Right. And what's the market cap of the company right now?
Our share price at this time is 72 cents and our market cap just under the 50 million mark.
Excellent. So the importance that copper plays role in the critical metals space.
Well, copper is the second largest metals market after iron ore. It's essential for many, many sectors in the economy. That's why it's often referred to as Dr. Copper. It's a real barometer of economic health. And going forward, the big driver in the copper market will be the energy transition, because all the technologies that underpin the transition to greener energy, electric vehicles, solar, wind, all those technologies are very copper intensive. As an example, an electric vehicle takes 3, 4, 5 times as much copper as a conventional vehicle, and it's very similar to other sectors. So with this big energy transition, big mega trend really worldwide, we'll see strong copper demand for many years, if not decades to come.
We always talk about demand based upon the application, but maybe give the viewers an idea of that supply-demand, that deficit that is looming, and what needs to happen in terms of exploration, development, and production of copper metals from mines to fill that gap.
Well, in copper, certainly the supply picture is very striking in that the last decade, at least, there hasn't been any major copper discovery. And really the rate of discovery has slowed down dramatically. And with mines taking between 10 and 20 years to come to fruition, we know already now that in the next 10 years there will not be any big new copper mines built. And that's against the background of very strong demand. So many forecasters have big deficits. Goldman Sachs predicts 8 million tons of deficit in 2030. Others have similar figures. And just to put that into perspective, 8 million tons, that's many, many mines. A big copper mine is maybe 500,000 tons, and a smaller copper mine, 100,000 tons. So lots new copper mines will be needed to fill this deficit, and lots more copper exploration.
Can I clarify, that's 8 million tons deficit per year?
That's it, yes.
And they need to find enough new copper production from new discoveries or ramping up existing mines to fill 8 million tons a year. Right. And you're saying a standard copper mine or a smaller one would be 500,000 or 500,000?
500,000 tons is a sizable big copper mine.
Right.
But still, to make up an 8 million tons per year deficit, you need 16 big new mines. And those are simply not there in the pipeline.
So people may think, well, we just need to spend more money on exploration and it'll be a direct result. Spend more money on exploration, you will thus find more copper. But really, it isn't that formulaic or easy, right? Like, how important is the team with respect to finding new deposits or exploration success?
It's a combination of exploration spend and obviously the right people. But it's really also a situation where the low-hanging fruit are gone. And
the low-hanging fruit in terms of deposits or discoveries?
Deposits easy to find near surface. So it becomes more and more important to really take new approaches or look at opportunities in a different way to find deposits that haven't been found yet.
And that, in the case of Kodiak, that happened. Maybe you can walk through that.
That's very much the story of Kodiak and Chris Taylor, our founder and chairman. Our main project, MPD, we picked up and Chris really took a very different interpretation to the many historic explorers who had explored that project already for decades. And Chris's view was that the higher grade zones are deeper than the historic drilling reached. So we drilled deeper than what was done historically on the property, and were successful right away. We made a discovery in our maiden drill program and found much higher grade mineralization at what is now called the gate zone than what historic explorers found.
So the MPD project is within what you would call a copper mining district, I would assume you could say that?
That's very much the case. It's near Princeton and Merritt in southern British Columbia, in an established mining district, which of course is a big advantage because all the infrastructure is there. It makes exploration very cost effective, and in the future will be a big difference maker when it comes to building an economic mine.
Yeah, people don't really realize if you make a discovery in a place where there isn't power, there isn't water, there aren't highways, they don't have a labor force, that's a big striking difference compared to with the discoveries you're making at MPD.
Yeah. It's
Right.
a very important advantage of the project we have, and the hurdle this project will have to take and the grades it will need to become economic are much lower than it would be in a more remote location.
Well, can you explain that to people when you're comparing this project and against others globally with the infrastructure and the cost, when you're saying a lower hurdle rate? Maybe just explain what that means.
Well, many regions of the world where porphyries typically are found, for example, South America, the high Andes, are very difficult to access, high up in the mountains, many hundred kilometers from roads, electricity, water, etc. So having all those pieces of the puzzle right there where we are is really a big advantage.
And you'd say that a discovery at MPD might be complementary to regional production, I would assume.
And the fact that there are copper mines in the region is a big advantage for us. There is one copper mountain very nearby, which is geologically very similar to what we see at MPD. And that, of course, gives us a very good yardstick of what we need to make this project work. And what we see at MPD, we are very encouraged by.
And so you've talked a little bit about Chris and how he came to the idea, but you have a strong technical team of geologists and explorationists. I would say a very strong board, and you've done an amazing job as a team and as a leader raising money for your project. So what would you say your catalysts for the next 6 months are for the company?
Well, we have a fully funded drill program in 2023 of 25,000 meters, so big drill program.
And you're drilling now?
We started in April, so drill's turning. And we will have an update coming quite soon, and then the first drill results in July. So in the next month, we'll know more of what we drill. We're very encouraged with what we see so far and looking forward to updating the market.
So great news flow coming, excellent team, great project, right place in the world, and there's wind in your sails in the copper markets.
Yeah, that's a good summary.
Thank you, Claudia.
Thank you.
Thank you.